The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your SuperChats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
It's a football Friday. Which New York Jets have the most to prove the rest of the season? Frankie V will join us to get into that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
We look forward to getting ready to compete against the Rays and go try to win us a game. So any questions? Why are you laughing?
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go here on a Football Friday. We're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. A reminder, if you ever missed the YouTube show live, check it out on either Spotify or Apple. Wherever you get your podcast, you could find the entire YouTube show in audio form. With that, we say hello to a good friend of the show, the co-founder of uSTADIUM and the co-host on the Gangs All Here podcast with the New York Post. He's our guy, Frankie V. Frankie V from uSTADIUM joins us now. Frankie, I know you just got back from a little vacation. You got banged up on this vacation on the last day. Why don't we start there? Tell the audience what the heck happened to you when you were in Aruba last week.
I can just feel it right now. There's going to be a Gator video incoming of me in this situation. I wiped out bad from one of those BS electric scooters. You know, I'm in Aruba. Me and my buddy, he's got his girl. I got this girl I'm kind of, on and off with. We're ready to go to the beach Monday morning. We're leaving the Hilton. I get on a scooter, the new ones, this Go Green Go, these new 25 mile an hour, 22 mile an hour. They're in kilometers, so I couldn't really do the math there. But it was 22 miles an hour, though, so it's like 45 kilometers or whatever. I get on one. I'm all pumped up. We start riding. There's a group in front of us. Some lady kind of pulls up short, or maybe I'm going too fast. I try to just, divert out of the way, and I hit the deck. There was sand, the roads in Aruba. It's not like the roads. Actually, it's kind of like the roads in New York, actually. Yeah, hit the deck, cracked a rib, have a grade 2 AC joint sprain. But hey, man. I'm here, I'm doing content. I just did the pod with Ryan and Kaz. No, seriously, in all seriousness, it was a tough spill, man. My glasses actually saved me. I can see I don't have my glasses today because see this mark here. My glasses pressed on both sides, so they kind of popped, but it kind of saved my eye from getting a black eye. But when I was in the airport, the funny thing was the next day we were leaving. And people in the airport see me, and I'm struggling. I don't know I have a cracked rib. I just stayed in the room on Monday, going through the airport. I'm sweating up a storm because I'm trying to carry these bags. And some guy's like, how'd you do this weekend? I was like, what are you talking about? There was an MMA convention. So some guy thought like I was like an MMA fighter. Somebody else thought I got jumped. A few people like, did they jump you out there at night? I'm like, ugh. I'm like, this story's never going to leave me. But
you should have seen the other guy. You should have said.
Yeah. Laughing's a little tough, by the way. I gotta brace myself.
Well, I won't play anything that will make you laugh. Don't worry.
No.
Oh man.
But yeah, I'm alive, man. Yeah, those things are dangerous. Though. I was wearing flip-flops too. You can't get on those things with flip-flops. I'm a heavy guy too. And those things read, by the way, for all the heavy people out there, those things read, if you're over 220 pounds, I'm like 245, 250. Maybe I'm a little more, actually. I don't even know. I weigh myself in a bit. But they don't suggest you to go on them. You're top heavy. So whatever. I'm here. Unfortunately for some people out there, I'm still here. So
I'm thrilled to have you because we will talk about some draft scenarios with the ESPN mock that came out the other day from Matt Miller having the Jets trading up to number one. I want your take on these QBs and the strategy to get one if the Jets are going to go down that path. But we'll start with the game Sunday. Obviously, no one's going to pick the Jets. The latest line at FanDuel has them still at 13.5 points, as an underdog. And, the juice line continues to move the other way. Ravens are minus 1,500, which means you'd have to lay $1,500.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Just to win 100 if you want to bet on the Ravens, right? The Jets, if you actually bet 100 on them to win, the plus 870 for those who aren't familiar with gambling, that means you'd win $870 by betting 100. So the Jets are huge, huge underdogs in this game. It was 14.5, and then the quarterback change happened, and the line did move in favor of the Jets. But what are you reasonably expecting in this game on Sunday? What would you like to see from the Jets that will make you feel better about where they're headed, even if it doesn't ultimately mean they're going to win the game Sunday?
Jake, I want to see more than the offense because this offense is just patchwork. It's like me at this point after my injuries. I'm just like a patchwork, person at this stage. But I don't care much about the offense because I'm not expecting much. The defense is where I'm really looking. How does Brandon Stevens do against Zay Flowers? How does he man up against Zay? Zay's the only player on that team. He has over 700 receiving yards. No other receiver on that team has over 300. So he's their receiver that they go to often. How does Brandon Stevens line up? How does that pass rush get after Lamar Jackson? They give up the third highest pressure rate to D lines in the NFL. How does Will McDonald play, who disappeared again after having, his 4-sack performance? He disappeared, which I was afraid would happen. Does he come back and have a big game? How does Jermaine look? Jamie Sherwood's been hit or miss throughout the season. How does he look? So I'm looking at that defense because those are guys that you're going to have to think about as potential like long-term players here. Will McDonald, you're going to have to talk about a 5th-year option eventually. Jermaine will be on his 5th year. Sherwood's going to be here, but you might want to get another linebacker there. Brandon Stevens looks pretty good. He's a 12th rated corner on PFF, but where do you go from there with him? Do you want him as your CB2? Maybe you don't. I mean, so they're going to have to make some decisions, and I think this will be a test for them. I think it'll be a test for the pass rush because of Lamar's ability to evade pressure and his ability to move, although Lamar is not running at the same rate that he was running. He's like averaging around 10 yards less per game on the ground than he has throughout his career. He's been banged up, though. So I want to see how the defense, Jake, plays. That's it. I want to see how they get to Lamar, and I want to see if these corners, or Brandon Stevens specifically, how he plays against Zay Flowers.
I think that's a really good answer there. I want to see the offense. Not that I think Tyrod Taylor is going to light it up, but I think we're in evaluation mode, right? Like, I want to see A.D. Mitchell, how he fares with Tyrod throwing to him, more plays potentially downfield. Can he catch the ball when those plays are being had downfield? I mean, he is getting open against Christian Gonzalez last Thursday, who's one of the better young corners in the league. That, to me, is impressive. Now, he's got to catch the ball. We get that, but maybe he gets the first game jitters out of the way, and he can make some splash plays. John Mechie looked pretty good in his first opportunity, real opportunity, with the Jets in that game on Thursday. I want to see more from him. And I just really want to see more targets to Mason Taylor, because I like Taylor, and I think we stunt his development if we don't pepper him with a lot of targets every week. So I just hope Tyrod can make it through this game healthy, and we get a couple games to really evaluate some of the skill players on this team.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Mason Taylor, unfortunately, has been in this passing offense. It's just been so constricted. I mean, they really can't do much. They don't give him any opportunities to really go down the field. Everything he seems to catch is just a comeback route or something where there's a defender just draped all over him every time he touches the ball. So it'd be nice. It'd be nice. I to be honest, Jake, looking at that tape, because I actually went through that all 22 when Tyrod did play against Tampa. That's not film that you're looking at and you're getting excited about this passing offense. I'm just tempering some expectations there. It's better than what we had with Fields from a passing offense perspective, but don't expect. I mean, I might be putting my foot in my mouth after the game, but don't expect. I think Tyrod to go out there and throw for 300 yards or something. I mean, I don't see it. I think. It's more of a lateral move, I think, than people think, but it's a move that had to happen. So,
look, it's a move that they needed to make. We will see if Tyrod Taylor can provide some sort of spark. The only start we have to go off of is that Tampa game. He was 26 of 36, 2 passing touchdowns. Did have the interception in that game. That was the pick six before the end of the first half. Then he also had a fumble in that game as well. So Tyrod's a guy that's not known for really turning it over. He's got to take care of the ball. But I also like the fact that, look, if he's going to throw a pick, but if he's throwing an interception on a 50-50 ball downfield, trying to give someone a chance to make a play, I'll live with that because, ultimately, I just want to see what we have with some of these skill position players. Like, do we have a number 2 on this team? Do we have just some 3s and 4s? Do we even have 3s? Like, I know I have a number 1 in Garrett Wilson. I like Mason Taylor, but is he truly like a number 1 tight end on an offense that could be really good in the future? Right? Like, I need to know that. Do we need to take another tight end somewhat early in the draft or address that in free agency? I just think we got 7 games here to hopefully get a much better, clear picture on what this team needs going into, the second offseason with Glenn and Muji.
Yeah. It'd be nice to see if there's an offensive player outside of Breece Hall that could just take over a game, offensively speaking. A player to have 2 touchdowns and 100-ish yards or something, and you're like, wow, they burst onto the scene today. That'd be nice. Yeah.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Football Friday. Today's giveaway is a Joe Namath jersey, a Joe Klecko jersey, a Curtis Martin jersey, a Wayne Corbett jersey, a Darrelle Revis jersey, a Nick Mangold jersey, or a Keyshawn Johnson jersey. Enter the raffle by gifting the community a membership or sending in a $10 super chat or higher to enter. And then, of course, if you don't win, well, you're automatically entered in the weekly raffle. Signed Nick Mangold football, signed Armand Membu jersey, and a signed Wayne Corbett football are the top prizes in that one. We'll get to the super chats as we go. JD says, love the Frankie V shows. When he starts shooting from the hips, great combo starts. Can you shoot from the hips with a cracked rib?
Kind of. Yes. There's a little hip shooting. Yes, just a bit though. Not with the same torque, but enough.
Marek says, Jake, your show has been a part of my daily routine after work. Cheers from EU. Hey, Marek, thank you very much for the kind words. Appreciate everyone who watches us all across the world. Ricky in the house. He says, is Tanky going to talk about his dream season so far? Ooh. We'll get into
that's great sound
coming up, but you see the title of the video, the thumbnail. Let's talk about with these 7 games now, which players do you, Frankie, have the most to prove down the home stretch of the season?
Well, I touched on Brandon Stevens. I want to see how for real Brandon Stevens is. Now he's inserted in that cornerback 1 role, with Sauce obviously not here. So I want to see how he fares. I know right now he's ranked the 12th best corner on PFF. Who is Brandon Stevens? Who is he? Is he someone that we are for certain is going to be our cornerback 2 next year? He might even have to be our 1. Is he that guy? We'll learn a lot about that, I think, on Sunday, because Zay Flowers is a tough matchup, especially in man. And then Jermaine Johnson is the other player on defense. I don't yet know who is Jermaine Johnson. I don't. I can't put my – I know he's a good locker room guy. I get he does a little bit of everything.
It's also a tough evaluation because he's coming off such a major injury too.
Yeah, totally. He seems to be – kind of good at everything, but not great at one thing. Can you depend on him on a 3rd and long to get to the quarterback? Not really. So that's a concern for me. But does he get that? Because he's going to develop. He's still a young guy and he's coming off an injury, like you're saying. So Jermaine Johnson's another player that he's going to be on his 5th year next year. The Jets are going to have to make a decision after that. Do they want to keep him around or not? So he's got a lot to prove to the coaching staff there. On offense, hey, I'm going to go to our best player on offense because they're going to have to make a decision in the offseason whether or not they want to give this guy a pretty big deal, and that's Breece Hall. Breece Hall, they're going to want to test him out and see, is he worth, and I think he is, but if Breece Hall doesn't show much the rest of the year, he may be hearing other numbers out there, and he may not want to come back here. So he's got a lot to prove, I think, to Muji and Glenn and that staff that they are going to be willing to want to invest a lot of money into Breece. So those are my 3 main guys. It's Stevens just because of we don't know what's going on with our D-backs. It's Jermaine on the front line. And then it's Brees, because you really have an important offseason decision to make with him.
Well said. For me, the first guy that I thought of was a guy we already mentioned, right? To me, it's one of these receivers. It's A.D. Mitchell, because this guy was a second-round pick a year ago. Like, you see the size, you see the speed. There were some thoughts that he'd be a first-round guy at this time a year ago. So, like, I like the talent. I think we saw some of that talent even on display in that game this past Thursday. I think he's got a real opportunity here. He was in a crowded wide receiver room in Indianapolis. They're also very run first with Jonathan Taylor there, and there were guys ahead of him in the pecking order in that pass catching room. There's a real opportunity for him. So he was the first guy I thought of. And then, I'm going to throw a coach. I think it's easy to say Aaron Glenn. We've talked ad nauseum on some of the things we'd want to see from him down the stretch. No game mismanagement. Nothing close to what we saw in London, for example. Guys still playing hard for him, which I think they have. I don't think he's lost the team even after these trades, right? They did win after a bye. It was ugly, but they did win after a bye, and he definitely should get credit for that. So I'll leave Glenn out from this because I think it's obvious. But Steve Wilks, man, like, someone is going to be fired if this team finishes with 4 wins or less. And right now, I think Engstrand's going to be brought back. Steve Wilks, to me, could be the fall guy for this season. They have 1 turnover the entire season. They have 0 interceptions this season. We are talking about something that is historic. The Jets' -11 turnover margin is the worst in the NFL. Their 1 takeaway, fewest in the league. And the next worst is the Giants and the Commanders with 6. Think about that. They're so far away from the other bad teams at forcing turnovers. The 1 takeaway is the fewest by any team through 10 games in a season all time. All time. So
is that tied?
The fewest takeaways to 11 games is 5 by the 2024 Raiders and 2018 49ers. They're number 1 all time in fewest takeaways through 10 games.
That's wild, man. The 2018 49ers, their DC was, right?
Robert Saleh.
Robert Saleh. Yeah,
Yeah, I just look, and it's obviously not just on Wilks. These players got to make plays. Like, you can't have Tony Adams hitting his own guy, Quantez Stiggers, in that game last Thursday, then celebrating like he did something. Like, dude, seriously? So, but it's not just Wilks, but ultimately someone's going to pay the price for this. And I think it's going to be him. They had 8 of their 11 starters year over year brought back. They made the investment in Stevens, right? Glenn talked about how they were going to be so good at forcing turnovers and guys were going to be coached up better. He named McDonald, and outside of the Browns game, McDonald's had a quiet year. So I just think ultimately Wilks is coaching for his job these next 7 weeks here. They continue to look bad defensively, missed tackles. He said yesterday, guys aren't on the same page. Coach, we're in week 11 now, or week 12. Guys need to be on the same page. And these guys have played together for a while. It's unacceptable. I think he's the guy that is really going to be under the microscope, these final 7 weeks.
Yeah, and who deserves blame with this too? I mean, he's not going anywhere, is the big guy there, Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
Because Aaron Glenn, say what you want, not only was he a defensive coordinator and he's a defensive guy at heart, he was responsible for bringing in players to play on that defense. He brought in Andre Sisco. He brought in Brandon Stevens. Now, people say turnovers are lucky, and sometimes they are, but I went and looked at earlier this morning. I looked at who's leading the league in interceptions. You know who's leading the league in interceptions? A very familiar name who's led the league in interceptions before. Veteran in the game, Kevin Byard, is leading the league with 5 picks. I remember many times going to see the interceptions on the ESPN or whatever and looking in the corner and seeing Kevin Byard at the top there. It's not always luck. You got to bait quarterbacks into making bad decisions. Guys like Tyrann Mathieu can sniff out where the ball is. You got to know, Aaron Glenn, who to bring in to make that happen. I wanted Justin Simmons here a few years ago. They didn't want to bring him in. I mean, like, that's not Aaron Glenn's fault, obviously, but you got to bring in players that can diagnose this stuff, that can mask coverages. That's a high football IQ kind of player, and it doesn't seem like we have any. So he better get some guys in there the next couple of years, the next year if it's his last, to force turnovers. It's not always luck. Yeah, having 1 turnover in 10 games, that's unlucky, but there's also another side to that where you don't have players that know how to make it happen.
Did they ever force a damn turnover?
The answer is no, Joe. They don't. That's the problem. And that's why this team has been as bad as they've been. They've had chances. Like, you watch the games all across the league, and it's like there's turnovers just by accident in these games. Like, by accident, there's a batted ball in the air, or a receiver drops a pass and it gets deflected into a defender's arms. Like, the Jets really haven't even come close outside of like a handful of plays I could think of. It's not like they're just missing interceptions. They also, I don't know if this is luck, poor technique, maybe a combo of both. They're the worst team in the league at recovering a fumble. Like, the Jets are 32nd out of 32 teams. Michael Nania had the graphic yesterday on his X account at recovering fumbles. So they are just horrific.
That's a stat.
They have the I think the Jets recover fumbles at around 20%, which is the worst in football.
Wow. You know what? This has been an ongoing story now for years. How many times, and you overreact as a fan because the ball's on the ground and you're like, oh, we never get it. And then if you do, you're like, forget about the times that you didn't get it, whatever. But we never get fumbles, man. Never. Wow. That is wild.
Look, you can't even see the Jets because they're so far bottom. My overlay graphic is covering it. I'll remove it so people could see. Look, the Jets are at 20% here in fumble recovery percentage through week 11.
The difference between the second to last team and the last team is astronomical. Like, you see 35, 35, 33, 32, 20. That's like, you know what, Jake? I have an assumption here about something with this team over the last 5 or so years. I think they can't handle pressure. I think they're all tense because the one thing defensive coaches always say about forcing turnovers or picking up fumbles or scooping and scoring, you got to play fast and loose. This team, even when they play fast, they're not playing loose. They're tense. They're trying so hard to win. The playoff drought is on everyone's shoulders, and they're just overthinking. You could see it. They're not playing loose, and this has been an ongoing issue. I hope someone, or maybe Michael or someone, can do this for the last 5 years. I bet you we're last. This team never recovers fumbles, man.
They never do.
Crazy. What about a pick six? How about that? I mean, like, that happens in seasons. Like, to think you can't get one pick six in a season is ridiculous. We can't get a pick. Never mind a pick six, but this stuff doesn't happen, man. It's crazy.
No, it's actually insane. Now, a little trivia for you. Do you remember which Jet had the last interception?
Was it Eccles?
It was Ashton Davis, who had 2 in week 18 against Miami last year.
Oh, that's insane. And by the way, the guy that I liked, Brandon Eccles. I thought he was someone that
I wanted them to keep him. Every time he played, he made plays. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, what are you looking for? Or whatever. I mean, this team in the offseason, if they really want this defense, if Wilkes isn't here, or even if he is, they're going to have to get some better guys back there, Jake, that understand how to diagnose things, or at least play a little looser. Everyone's tense, man. Everyone's also fighting for their jobs too. I mean, there's no guarantees in that secondary going into next year. So I don't know. It's tough.
Some membership shout outs before we get back to the conversation on the Jets that need to prove a lot over the final 7. It's our guy, Rick Kent, checking in. He gifted this tremendous community 5 channel memberships.
Show me the money. Show me the money!
Money.
If you got a membership from Rick, you thank him. Rick, you're in our raffle for 5. Rasta Dread entered the raffle. He gifted a membership to the community. Rasta, thank you for your tremendous support. Also, Austrian Jet Fan, one of our great international listeners. He's in. One Matthias says the Islanders are a wagon, Jake. Damn right they are. What a win last night. They're playing great hockey. A 6-1 road trip for the New York Islanders. Let's go. You're a hockey guy, Frankie? I don't even know.
No, not even the slightest. Why? Where are they at, the Islanders? I've been hearing they've been playing well. Are they like leading their division or whatever?
There'd be a playoff team right now.
Oh, nice. And they're in a little playoff drought, aren't they?
They made it 2 years ago. Their playoff drought's about a year.
Okay.
Yeah, they were in the conference finals back-to-back years. One of them was during the COVID year. That was the closest I've seen them in my lifetime to get into.
Where does hockey stack up for you, Jake? I know your football 1, your baseball 2. Is that kind of your thing?
Yeah, I would say hockey would be 4, but I still care immensely. Like, someone asked me, I did a Yankee podcast the other day, the Locked On Yankees podcast, and they were like, which team would you take a championship from? And they gave me the the Jets, the Knicks, and the Islanders. And I said, I'm in no position to turn down a championship from any of my teams, right? So the Jets, obviously, number one, but then like Yankees and Knicks, pretty close. And then there's like a gap for hockey for me, but I still watch most of the games and I'm a big fan. I just don't follow the league as closely as I do like the NBA, the MLB, and obviously all things NFL.
And you can talk hockey pretty fluidly. Like you can
talk about that hockey, the puck.
Yeah.
Oh, Canada.
Puck,
yeah. Little puck action.
So you're impressive, man. You're an impressive guy. You know, I can barely talk about football, and you're here talking about hockey. You're
doing a great job. Now, the great question here from Dylan. He wants to know, is that a birthmark on Tanky's forehead? I guess Dylan missed the beginning of the show when Frankie explained the scooter accident he was in Aruba this past week. I actually obtained the footage of the incident, though, Frankie. I don't know if you're aware of this, but I have sources everywhere. So this was just sent to me by the good people in Aruba. Take a look.
That is unbelievable. Oh my god. That's not far off. Oh. That's not far off. That's not far off at all. You know, these scooter companies, they should do a little bit of a better job. They tell you, oh, wipe down the tires before you get on the scooter. What the hell? You have to wipe down tires? Like there's sand all over the place on these roads. I'm not blaming them. You know, I'm at fault for driving, I guess, too fast. But hey, it's meant to, you know, you just go as fast as you can go. I don't know what you want to tell me, but
another player that I want to highlight that I think has a lot to prove, Jamian Sherwood, got the big contract. I don't think the Jets are just going to be stuck with it if they think they got to move on. Like, I think Jamian Sherwood, who's was benched previously for missing a meeting or something, has not had a good year. He's been a little better of late at times, but I still don't think he's playing great. He's a guy that I think has a lot to prove over these final 7 games.
Yeah. He has a lot to prove in the realm of being a leader too. I mean, when you pay a guy that much money and he's your captain, he's voted captain, right? Last year, he's got a lot to prove. So yeah, in that regard, I think we're overstating a little bit that he's been this bad player this year. I don't think he's been as bad as people think. But he hasn't been living up to those expectations. He just hasn't. I think him and Quincy together, I don't think is a good duo at linebacker. I think they both kind of play off their instincts more than they do off like diagnosing things pre-snap, changing up different things in the front 7. They seem to react well, but they're sort of out of place more often than not. And I think CJ, when he was there, sort of helped them both out a ton in terms of diagnosing things. So, yeah, Jamian's got to get a lot better in terms of pre-snap, in terms of being a better leader. You can't be late. I agree. I don't know what they're going to do with him, though, Jake. I mean, listen, there's some really good linebackers in this.
I want them to sign Alex Anzalone in free agency. Glenn Guy from Detroit, leader. Like, he could be this defense's Bart Scott next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad move. I don't know what the money there would be, but yeah, they need tougher guys on defense. They do. They need players exactly like that.
They need better leaders on defense.
They do. This draft has a few really nice linebackers and D tackles. We'll get into that on later shows, I'm sure. But that's where this draft shines a little bit, is like D tackle and linebacker, which are 2 positions in need for us. So yeah.
All right. I mentioned Wilkes, mentioned Sherwood. We talked about Mitchell and Mechie. I'll give you one more. AZ Thomas, right? Going to get an opportunity here to start the rest of the way. They made the Sauce deal. AZ Thomas was a 3rd-round pick. Many felt that was really good value, that he probably should have went higher than the 3rd round. Jets obviously felt the same. They took him. I want to see what he could do. Now, unfortunately, he was out last week with a concussion on a short week. He wasn't cleared in time, but he's been cleared. He will be out there in this game Sunday. How does he play? We know about Stevens. He's going to be here. He's under contract. Paid him. What about AZ Thomas? Is he going to prove he is a legitimate starting corner for this team going into next year?
Yeah. Huge questions there, Jake. I like his physicality a ton. I think he's a good press corner. The question with AZ Thomas, and this was a concern before he was drafted, was his speed. He ran that 4.58 40, which is low for corners in today's NFL. So I think when we're looking at AZ Thomas, we want to look at how does he fare on those streak routes. And he's going to get challenged a little bit with Baltimore. They like to run those sort of routes. They like to have guys streak, and then they have Zay and their tight ends kind of utilized in the middle of the field. I'm curious to see how he looks in terms of just keeping up on those streak routes. There were some pundits and scouts that were concerned about his speed and saying he's just too slow to be a quality corner in the NFL. Let's see. He hasn't looked it so far. He got beat on that play by, I believe, T. Higgins, beat him on a streak. But T. Higgins beats a lot of guys on streak. So we'll see. Because we have to know what the difference is between his physicality and his speed. Is he physical enough to overcome his deficiencies in terms of how fast he is? So that's something we want to look out for. You're right, because they're going to have to look at the draft or free agency if they want to bring in another corner.
Well said. Well said. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Reminder, jersey giveaway today. Keyshawn Johnson, Nick Mangold, Darrelle Revis, Wayne Corbett, Curtis Martin, Joe Klecko, Joe Namath. Jerseys that will never go out of style because you never know who Darren Muji might trade. We didn't think Sauce was going to be traded, that's for sure. My goodness. All right. We're going to get
you
to
didn't have
calls.
me. You didn't have me on that week. You know,
were busy.
You ignore. I wasn't busy. I was ready. I was sitting by my.
You're welcome anytime. I know that was one of the great days of your life when Sauce was traded.
Yeah, I wanted to come on. I had a few things to say, but it's over now. We can all move on. I don't have to rehash things, but
all the picks, baby, all the picks.
That's a beautiful thing, man. Like that with the NFL draft jingle is the future of the New York Jets right there.
It's the future of my talk show as well.
Think about it. Your talk show might be in the hands, as a bunch of our shows might be in the hands of Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn.
That's right.
How terrifying.
That is right. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to your calls, let me talk about today's sponsor. That is Ridge Wallet. They were nice enough to send me a Ridge Wallet, and I've been using it now for the last couple of months. I used to carry one of those like giant crusty letter brick of a wallet, the George Costanza style wallet for my Seinfeld fans out there. And then Ridge came in, completely changed my everyday carry. You already know Ridge for their sleek design. You see it there on the screen, but now they introduced the Ridge 2.0. They spent 12 years perfecting this, and it shows it's lighter, cleaner, and it's just upgraded to fit you better. The straps, money clips, the AirTag attachments, premium materials like aluminum, titanium, carbon fiber, holds 12 cards plus cash, more than 50 styles, including NFL, New York Jets, MLB, college teams, so you could rock a Jets Ridge Wallet at every Asmaniac event. RFID protection, a built-for-life warranty, and over 100,000 five-star reviews. Ridge even makes power banks, key cases, suitcases, all with that same premium feel. Right now, they're having their huge holiday sale. So you can go to ridge.com/Asman to get up to 47% off, the biggest sale of the year. After you buy, make sure you tell them the Jake Asman Show sent you. Use that code Asman at checkout. Again, Ridge Wallet. Shout out to Ridge. Use the promo code Asman when you buy one for yourself, and you will not be disappointed. Let's bring Frankie back on the show right now. It is time for some calls. Now, I want to set this one up properly because I know not everyone maybe saw yesterday's second show. So Ralph from Glen Head has been messaging me for a while that he wants an intro, right? He's someone that's been calling the show for many years, comes to events, big fan of Rob, always love when I get to hang out with him. Now, I don't control which callers get an intro, though. That's in the hands of the great Gator McCluskey. Like me telling Gator to make someone an intro is like me telling like Picasso how to paint. Like I'm just not going to do that. And Gator needs to get inspiration. He needs to be inspired. And, Gator yesterday spoke with Rob on the air, and Gator basically articulated what I've been telling Rob. And Gator said he was going to think of something, but nothing was kind of coming to him. So another one of my callers, JJ, who is a big fan of Rob as well, he said, hey, I'll make you an intro. Maybe it won't be as good, but I'll make you something, Rob, so you have it. And JJ was nice enough to send me that intro. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
Gator, I don't understand why I don't have an intro. Gator, I don't understand
What do you think, Rob?
I can live with that. Thank you, JJ. I can definitely live with that.
I thought it was excellent.
Yeah, I like it. I can definitely live with that. Thank you. That was very kind to JJ. I know in the past, me and him didn't see eye to eye, but then we met at a watch party, and I gave him a bear hug, and that changed his mind. So
I think you two now have a budding friendship. You know, you guys rallied around intro gate here.
Yeah, it's possible. And a message to Peg and Artie, I should say. Artie, I'll always be tough. You want me to go back to the badass that I was? I will. So that's just a message to Artie, because Artie said that I was too soft. So I figured I'd start off that way, Jake.
Hey, I actually just received something, so I guess Gator just got inspired. Rob, you ready for the Gator version of that intro?
Okay. I'll listen.
Gator, I don't understand why I don't have an intro. Gator, I need an intro, buddy. A cool intro, please. I've been calling in, supporting Jake for over 4 years. You got Adam is too cool, Papa 73, and I don't understand why you won't create one.
Women.
You have no sense of humor. That's the problem.
I don't.
When you have a sense of humor, then you can have an intro.
I'm worthy of an intro.
All right, fine. I don't understand why I don't have an intro.
Now
So that
an
was
intro.
good. The inspiration was you kind of complaining about not having an intro led to you having
Correct.
an intro. That kind of
I love
works.
it.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah, it's good.
What do you
stuff.
think, Frankie V?
I think it's a great intro. I like the Gator intros. I think Gator's is a goat when it comes to that. I think he
He is.
brought JJ's up to a new level. Yeah.
Yeah. And JJ's good too. I appreciate it, JJ. I appreciate it. And Gator, thank you. I was trying to call in because I was talking about yesterday, and the perfect person to speak to Mr. Tanky V here. Frankie, I have to say, I'm kind of with you right now. I really don't want them to win any more games. I don't want them to get blown out. Don't get me wrong. I don't want them to lose by 30 points. I think definitely we got to evaluate the rest of the season without a doubt and see who's good. If any of these wide receivers are going to pan out, the Mechie and the Mitchells and Mason Taylor, I think is going to be a really good tight end. And unfortunately, Tyrod Taylor is the only guy who has a bit of an arm who can throw downfield to test these guys. And I'm going on record, Frankie, that I do want Brees to be re-signed. They have to re-sign him. And Jake already knows my take. I want Mendoza. I'm tooting my horn for Mendoza. That's the guy that I want. My second choice would probably be Dante Moore, the guy from Oregon, and that's if he comes out. So I want to lose the rest of the games, Jake, but I want them to be very highly competitive games. If we lost by a point every single game the rest of the way, I'd be very, very happy. But I don't want to give up draft capital to get up to trade for our quarterback, only because it's true. We do have a lot of holes to fill, Frankie, and I think we need every pick that we have. But, if we have to, yes, I would give up draft capital to move up to get Mendoza. What's your take on that, Frankie?
Yeah, man, this is the toughest conversation to have about tanking and versus winning and what winning does for your team. It's like a chicken or the egg debate. There's not a right answer to it. You can say on one side, and I agree with it. You win, you build good morale. Your coaches feel confident, the players feel confident in the coaches, and that's what you need to build a winner. And that's true. The other side is you might lose out on a player like Fernando Mendoza, who may be the only quarterback you're looking at in that top 10 that you can confidently say would deliver results here if you were to start. So I don't know where to fall. I tend to fall on the tanking side a little bit, but I'm not mad if they win games. Unlike most tankers, they get mad if the Jets win. I don't get mad when the Jets win. If they won a meeting, like I got mad when we beat New England that last game because of how we won that game. We gave Brees Hall 37 carries, which puts him at risk of injury. We beat the Patriots on Belichick's last game, fans are like, oh, we sent out Belichick with a loss. This is how you turn a franchise around. I'm like, what? They end up with Drake May because of it.
Hold on. They would have been picking 4 if the Jets lost that game. They still would have had Drake May. It wouldn't have mattered.
I thought they were. No, they would have been
instead of picking 3, they would have been 4. Some of the what's his name? NYJ Matt was roasting.
Who would have been picking 3?
Arizona. So they still probably take Marvin Harrison, or the Patriots move up one spot.
You know what? Good
People
point.
make too much of that. It had nothing to do with it.
I agree. I just kind of threw that in there as a point, but you stand corrected there. I won't agree with that completely. But I think you want to be competitive. I want the team, like I like what Rob said. You want to be competitive. At this point, though, the only quarterback that looks good to me, and specifically for this team, is this Fernando Mendoza kid.
You don't like Ty Simpson?
I'm not a fan yet, man. I don't know what it is. There's something, and I haven't done all the research yet. I haven't gone into Ty as much.
And he still has a lot of games left, too. Like, that's the thing. Like, Alabama's still going to potentially play some big games here.
There's a bunch of games left for all these guys. And I think, by the way, this conversation we're having, you can go back to it. If you look at Fernando Mendoza, Ty Simpson, and Dante Moore, and we're kind of ranking them now. Everyone's like Mendoza, Simpson, Moore. Watch how that could change. And I wouldn't be surprised if in a month and a half that conversation completely changes. Yeah, it changes every week.
I hope more comes out. That helps the Jets the more first-round worthy quarterbacks are out there.
Moore's got the most talent out of those 3. Moore's arm is fantastic. He's raw. He doesn't really get how to play quarterback yet. He's kind of figuring it out. Mendoza knows how to play quarterback at a pretty high level, but he's got some deficiencies there. I don't know what.
Oh, hold on, Frankie. I'm sorry. StreamYard sucks. Continue.
Oh, no, you're all good. No, it's just Moore. Moore's clearly the more talented one. Moore kind of reminds me a little bit preliminary of like a CJ Stroud. Got the arm kind of hit or miss, hot or cold. Mendoza, to me, reminds me a bit of like I was calling him like a clutcher version of Kirk Cousins. So like, I know it's a weird comparison there, but likes to gunsling when he does, but then he can game manage, and he's willing to be a game manager. The deficiencies with Cousins in his career where he throws, badly timed interceptions and doesn't always deliver on drives when he needs to, where I think Mendoza's proven that he can. His red zone stats, I think he has 34 touchdowns to 0 interceptions in the red zone throughout his career there. So he's good, man. He's good enough. But yeah, I don't want to trade Jake to move up. I don't want to give up another first-round pick.
What if it's just the Colts pick and you retain all the 2027 first-rounders? Because I think there's a difference. Like, I'm willing to move up, but I don't want to trade away like all my ones. If I trade away Indy's pick in the late 20s and one of my 2 second-rounders, if that was the cost to go 5-1 to guarantee my guy,
and 20 those 26 picks.
Yeah, because that was the Matt Miller mock the other day. Like, I thought this was a totally reasonable trade. Like, the Jets would trade their 5th pick 28 from Indy in the Sauce deal, and a second rounder. It was their second in 2027, by the way. So
to get Mendoza, I'm down.
Yeah, and that's who they were taking.
I'm not happy. Actually, I'm happy about it. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
That's why you make these trades. Like, you still would have 3 first-round picks in 2027, and you still have 2 first-round picks in this offseason. So you could package those and get back into round 1 if there's a player you're dying for.
For sure. Yeah. I'll say this, though. You better hit on those. You better hit on a few other draft picks, though, in that draft, because you're losing out 28 overall in that situation. It won't be that. It'll be something else, but you're losing another first rounder. So yeah, I would. You want to make sure you really have keyed in on some guys, and you want to get guys that help Fernando Mendoza out. He needs help. The offensive line's there, but with the tackles, you may want to, and a position we didn't bring up that I think is important is guard. How does the guard position look? Simpson hasn't looked all that good this year. What's AVT's situation? So I think that's something they want to key in on. Josh Myers, you and I spoke about it. They may want to get a new center in town. So you want to help him out. You want to maybe bring in another tight end like you were discussing earlier. The receiving room needs help. You can find receivers in free agency, though. I'm not so gun-ho always doing it in the draft.
As you and I were just talking, maybe A.D. Mitchell and Mechie could prove, they can be a part of this room, and then maybe only need one legit number 2 receiver you find in the draft or free agency. Now, we just played the Rob intro that JJ made. Rob wrote in, "Thank you, JJ and Gator, for the intro. Much love." The intro was actually inspired, for longtime listeners, it was inspired by JJ's As Maniac Madness campaign ads to try and get votes in the tournament last year. And that same beat was applied in the Rob intro. For those who weren't around then, this is what the OG JJ video was.
For those of you who didn't know, a few months back, I had announced my retirement from the Big Asman show. But after today's victory, I have a huge announcement to make. The people, the fans have spoken. I'm coming out of retirement.
The great
I'm back. Big fella, I'll see you in the next round. May the best man win.
He's back!
Ladies and gentlemen, that led to this.
Gator, I don't understand why I don't have an intro. I don't have an intro. Gator, I don't understand why I don't have an intro. I've been calling in supporting Jake for over 4 years. I don't have an intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is the man himself, JJ. Well done, sir. Hold on, my StreamYard's glitching. There we go.
Yo, what's going on, guys? So with most people, I'm glad you caught that it's the same beat because I've been using the same beat for everything. Just to be
so
annoying.
Funny. I want you to know I fell off my couch laughing when I saw this last night.
I was like, I hope people realize like it's the same exact beat. But what really actually drove me and inspired me to do this is most people don't know this, but one of the first Asmaniac Rumbles was me versus Rob like 3 years ago. Rob wanted to beat me up because I said something about him. I don't even remember what it was. And he called in and we got into like a big argument. And then we apologized to each other. Then we actually met each other at one of the watch parties. And Rob is massive. He's a big guy. And I was like, yeah, I don't want no problems with him. But yesterday, when he called in and he was asking for an intro, I was like, yeah, Rob's my guy, man. If Gator ain't gonna do it, then I'll go ahead and make him something. I read one of the comments. Somebody said the music's too loud. This sucks. And I was like, yeah, well, hey, listen, I'm not Gator. This is the best I can do. I know what I'm capable of and what I'm not capable of. So this was the best I could do. So Rob, I hope you like it. It took me about a good amount of time to do it. Cause like I said, I'm out of my league here. Gator, what you do, hats off to you. Even though me and you don't get along, I'll give you credit. It is not easy making intros and stuff like that. So I will give you respect where respect
Gator
is due.
says, JJ, excellent job. Props to you, man. Gator told me he was literally laughing for an hour straight last night when I said it to him last night.
Well, yeah, I mean, when I was doing it, I was like, yeah, this guy, Gator is an unsung hero of the show. Even though me and him don't get along, what he does is not easy. I found out yesterday when I was trying to make that intro for Rob. But yeah, I'm just glad Rob has an intro now. And now whenever he calls in, he'll get a good laugh out of it.
It was so funny. And now you saw the Gatorized version of your intro, though, right?
No, I haven't.
Oh, well, so I sent it to Gator, and he actually got some inspiration because of you. So he took your intro and then did this with it.
Gator, I don't understand why I don't have an intro. Gator, I need an intro, buddy. A cool intro, please. I've been calling in, supporting Jake for over 4 years. You got Adam is too cool, Papa 73, and I don't understand why you won't create one. Women.
You have no sense of humor. That's the problem.
I don't.
When you have a sense of humor, then you can have an intro.
I'm worthy of an intro.
All right, fine.
I don't understand why I don't have an intro.
That's awesome. That's awesome. There we go. That's awesome. I'm glad that the final version is so much better. I love that final version. That's awesome.
JJ, much love, buddy. We've come a long way, you and I.
Yes, we have.
We might not see eye to eye on all the takes, but you know what? We have respect for each other, and that's the main thing. At the end of the day, we're both Jet fans.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's what the chat has to understand, man. The chat got to understand we're all Jets fans. We all love this team, and we're all a little bit crazy. Everyone thinks everyone's crazier than the other one. No, we all got a little something off when we've been rooting for this team as long as we can. So, yeah, I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy for you.
JJ, if you had asked me 2 years ago that you were going to come out with an intro for me, I would have said you're out of your effing mind. I would have said. If you come out with it, my mind is boggled. Thank you so much. You're good people, buddy. You're good people.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, I got to get back to work. I'll see y'all later, man.
Super chat, you could get lucky. The Jasmine Show, win a prize daily. Yes, memorabilia. Be sure to stay tuned. Let's go, Jets. Let's go, Jets. Let's go, Jets. Let's go.
What a sequence there. What a show so far. We've only just begun. Frankie will be back with us in just a bit. He had to take a quick call, so he will pop on with us when he gets done with that. Lou B with a super chat. I understand tanking more and more. Go tank. Look, I get it. I'm not going to be that devastated if the Jets lose games here, but I've already accepted they're not going to finish with 2 wins. They're probably going to win 2 more games. So we'll see where they end up. And I think they're going to trade up for a quarterback when it's all said and done. I really believe that. I think they sold Woody on getting their quarterback this offseason. That's my belief. Doug says, Tyler Linderbaum's a free agent. I'd sign him and keep Tippmann at guard. I don't think the Ravens would actually let him go. They're a smart franchise. Why would they let a stud center walk? They keep their players. They're good young players. All right, let's get to more of your calls right now. Who knows where we're going with this one? Buckle up.
If Mad Max ain't yapping about Jets, that boy, he's jamming. He's standing, freaking dancing, wall smashing. I'm Jake Asman. If Mad Max ain't ever stopped yapping, that boy, he still be dancing. Then call Jake Asman. He got an orange wall.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Let's talk about the upcoming Sunday's game. So I want to get Frankie V's thoughts on this. So I think the Jets are going to lose to the Ravens, but I think it'll be a very competitive game. I was watching Red Zone on Sunday. Oh my God. The Ravens looked horrible against the Browns. We beat by 7. And with Tyrod playing, I think he's going to play way better than Fields. I think Mechie and John Mechie and the other receiver, the other wide receiver, I can't remember the name. They were just
Mitchell?
traded. What was the other receiver trade for recently?
Mitchell.
Adam Mitchell. Yeah, I think they're going to get more targets and stuff. And then I just think our passing attack is going to look better with Tyrod than Fields because Fields is just horrible, honestly. I want to get Frankie V's thoughts on like the Jets-Ravens games. I think it'll be much more competitive than people think. Because we'll always play.
Well, rewind to the beginning of the video, damn it. We already covered this, Mad Max.
Oh, man. But I think it'd be a very close game. And let's talk about the upcoming game versus the Falcons. So I think we're going to beat the Falcons. The Falcons are just horrible.
We're on to the Falcons already? We still have the Ravens.
We're going to lose to the Ravens, but it's going to be a very tough game, Jake. Very competitive game.
Mad Max. What's on the agenda this weekend?
Not much. What's on the agenda for you this weekend? You're gonna have fun at the Matt O'Leary wedding.
That's right.
Oh man, let's hear about this Matt O'Leary wedding they're going to. Let's hear about it, Jake.
Yeah, well, I'm going to the Matt O'Leary wedding.
Congrats, anyone in the chat, anyone who supports Matt O'Leary. Congrats on the new marriage between Mrs. O'Leary and Mr. O'Leary.
Why is the chat being congratulated for Matt being married?
Oh man, I want to congratulate. Now I'm saying I'm going to congratulate Matt O'Leary for his wedding, for his marriage with Miss O'Leary.
So you're congratulating Matt directly now?
Yeah.
Are you going to get him a wedding gift?
No, but I'm just going to congratulate him because I've been a caller for the last couple of years in the show.
So what if he says, "Hey, Mad Max, you've been calling my show. Go on my registry and pick an item and buy it for me."
Really? Like, I don't even know where his wedding is. Like, come on. Why would I even do that, Jake?
Yeah, but you don't need to go to his wedding. You can get on the registry and you could buy an item that's there.
Oh man, maybe I'll get him a Jets jersey of his favorite player, honestly.
What if he wants a Mad Max t-shirt from the Jake Asman store?
He'll get it. I'll tell him to order it.
Yeah, but what if he wants you to pay for it for him?
Come on. He has so much money from his content creator business. Like, come on, Jake. You know, man.
I don't think I do, Max. You're a mysterious man.
Yeah, no. I mean, but he'll get a Mad Max t-shirt. You knowing me, Jake.
So what else are you doing this weekend, Mad Max?
I don't even know. Maybe I'll go to a house show. I'm bowling today. I had a Friendsgiving yesterday.
Ooh, well, tell us about this Friendsgiving.
Very fun. It was like a very big Friendsgiving. It was part of their own navigators. So just and then there was some turkey. It was like very big, and they had mashed potatoes there. They had a little bit of the cranberry sauce and the stuff. And then they also had pumpkin pie with desserts and apple pie. I got leftover apple pie. And then we played this IQ game called Last Man Standing. Oh my God. It was like a big lore thing, Jake. We were spending like 2 hours trying to figure out this game.
Really?
I never even figured it out, Jake. It was like
did you guys play Spin the Bottle at this Friendsgiving?
No, we did not play that game.
Really?
We did not play that game.
Interesting.
Have fun in the wedding, Jake.
I will, Mad Max. I'll let you know how it goes, all right?
Sounds good.
All right. Any other thoughts?
Go Jets. 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 What do you guys' opinion on me doing a backflip through this orange wall?
Thank you, Mad Max. Well done, sir. Great call. Tremendous call. All right, we're going to get to more of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time today, we check in with the man that goes by many names. Today, we shall call him Beast Breaker.
Beast Breaker.
Are you serious? Are you serious on these? $3.99 for little ones like that? Oh, come on. I go to Dollar Tree and get these for $1.25 for crying out loud. Where's all the good stuff at?
Where are we shopping, Beast?
We're at Walgreens. Yeah. And I'm just looking for some good Christmas stuff. See if I can get my daughter something for Christmas. I don't know what she wants. That's a good question. That's I have no idea who that is. I know that's Tom Puppies. That's Huggle Lamps. Snowmen. Maybe Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. Let's see. This is hard for me to decide. Hey, you want to see something that's funny? Remember I told you I bought a 4-foot tree? Look at the size of this. Are you serious? The same tree I got, but $20. Oh well. Hey,
how much did you pay?
Oh well.
Beast, how much did you pay for your tree?
Was it 25 for mine?
Oh wow.
25, but I took the white lights off because I'm not a white lights person. I'm a multicolored guy. You should know me by now. And take a look at this. Are you serious? Are you serious? Come on. Are you serious? Come on. You think I was smoking dope playing with myself? I don't think so, man. This is freaky.
Well,
this is like the hell. Really? Really? $12.99 just for this?
We can't roll it out.
I mean, maybe $7.99. Maybe $7.99. Yes, but not $12.99. That's ridiculous. Come on, man. You think I'm smoking dope? Think I fell on my head? And I don't think so, Pally. Well, you know what I could do? I can get the big fella something called one of these little fellas right here.
Put that on, Beast. Try it on.
Would you like one of these? Hold it. Let's try something here. Let's check it out.
Okay. He looks like he works for Santa Claus, like before you see him.
It's okay looking.
I think you look good, Beast.
Hey, what you see is what you get. Now I'm gonna try and find some grill. Now they don't got the Christmas candy out yet, besides Reese's, M&M's, Branches, Russell Stouffer's, this other stuff. But where's the Kit Kats? I'm a Kit Kat man. You should know me by now. I'm the Kit Kat master. And you know what I mean by the master. M-A-S-T-E-R, master. You should know that. Right. I don't want no Christmas mugs. I don't want none of those. That's too expensive. Way too much. Did you ever play with one of these?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, those were fun back in those days. Hockey used to be the thing. And I remember we used to have something like this, too, back in the day, too. A little basketball. Those were fun. Well, so are you all ready for your turkey next week? Are you ready to get down some turkey, some stuffing, some mashed potatoes, even some gravy, get some biscuits going in you?
Hey, big fella says Beast, Big Santa's coming.
Don't worry, Big Santa. I got a hat for you, and I might even throw in those Christmas Oreos as a bonus. And remember, ho, ho, ho. Ho.
Beast, thank you. We covered a tremendous amount of ground there.
He's an amazing person, that Beast. Unbelievable.
Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is not an amazing person.
Warning! Warning! Allen alert! Shit's about to get ugly, folks. Warning! Allen alert! Hide the children.
There's only one reason I call today, and that is to speak to one of the better contributors on the show, my fellow tanker, Frankie V. Frankie, you are a gem to this show, okay? A lot of phonies out there, but you are a star like myself. Okay. Frankie, I know you're not a hockey guy, but Jake and I are Islander fans, and the idea that an 18-year-old has completely changed the mindset of an Islander fan is crazy. Maybe one day the Jets can find a guy who's just like that.
Well, if they trade up for number 1, we can only hope that they get that pick right the way the Islanders have gotten the Schaefer pick right. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable how an 18-year-old has completely changed an organization.
Where did they pick him?
Couple of things.
How did they find him?
They won the lottery against all odds.
He was the first pick. Oh, okay.
First pick 5 months ago. Yes,
that's cool.
Frankie, as far as the linebackers are concerned, I don't want Alex Anzalone. He's 31 years old. He does not fit the timeline.
They need a leader and a veteran.
I don't need a 31-year-old guy on this team. Okay,
for 2 years you might. But
I would sign Leo Chanel. He's 26 years old, and I would draft Sonny Styles. Those are the two guys I would have as our linebackers, and then you can.
Where would you draft Sonny Styles?
I think he's a mid to late first.
Okay, so you take him with that second pick if he's there.
I would take him. I would take him.
He's really good. I'm with you.
He is really good. He's a true Mike. This organization does not have a Mike, so I would move Sherwood to the outside, and I'd have Styles as a Mike, and I would bring in Chanel. Those would be the two guys I'd bring in. I disagree with you on one thing, Frankie, as far as Mendoza is concerned. Unless Kurt Signetti is coming with him, I am not trading up for Fernando Mendoza. I just don't think he's a franchise quarterback.
What would your plan be at quarterback if you're dead set in not trading up for it? Because you don't want to do anything. At first you said no 2027 first. Well, this deal doesn't include that, and you're still
I would not trade any capital. I think this team is so far away.
What if it was 1 second-round pick? Say the Jets are at 3.
If it was the Dallas pick, that's the only way I would make the deal. I would not trade any first-round pick.
So if the Jets pick is the second, you wouldn't do it. That's crazy to me. What's the plan at quarterback? You don't have a quarterback.
Okay. I believe that I would rather go with a bridge.
Who's the bridge, though? There's not very good options out there.
I would trade for Davis Mills, and I would draft the guy on day 3 next year, knowing that I have 3 first-round picks in 2027, and then you can attack the quarterback class.
Which guarantees nothing.
You have $100 million in cap space, and you have 4 picks in the top 50, you can really clean up and fix the rest of your roster now.
You could do that, though, and still get a quarterback this year. It's not one of the other.
I don't believe in Mendoza being a franchise quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's
That's what they need. That's what they need. They need
I'm
a
glad
good quarterback.
They need it. I am not trading any capital for a guy who I think is going to be mid.
But you have all this extra capital.
Again,
that's the point.
They have
and you're
so
still
many holes.
But you could still fill a lot of those holes with the $100 million in cap space, and you still, in this scenario that we've been talking about, because that was the deal that Matt Miller put together in this mock, they still maintain all this capital you're referencing.
Again, I'm not trading any first-round picks this year or next year.
You still would have, if they did the trade that was proposed in the Matt Miller mock, you realize the New York Jets would still have 2 second-round picks this year, 3 first-round picks next year. Like, what are we talking about? Like, that's more than enough.
I don't buy the quarterback. That's the difference.
Yeah, but you're saying you would take the quarterback because you think he's good if he fell.
I think he's good. I don't think he's worth trading up.
But my point to you is you're not giving up a lot to guarantee yourself that you have a quarterback. There's no other obvious answer to get your quarterback if you don't do it. They're not going to be picking in a spot where the quarterback, I think, will fall to them. Maybe we're wrong. The guys do slide all the time, but it feels like at this present moment for the Jets to guarantee themselves Mendoza, Simpson, Moore, whoever they love, they're going to probably have to move up a few spots because I don't think they're going to finish in the top 2.
With the trades they've made for Sauce and Williams, now they have that 2-year window that they actually can attack the quarterback in 27 rather than force it in 26.
This regime can't. They're not guaranteed 27.
Yeah, honestly, I think the trades they made actually gave this regime an extra year.
So if they finish 4-13 this year,
I think they win back.
Say they win 5 or 6 games in 2026. So let's say they have 9 or 10 total wins through 2 years. You think Woody Johnson's going to let Aaron Glenn go into 27, where he has to win, right? 3 years, 3 straight losing years. He's going to get fired. No one survives that unless you're Saleh, and he only got 5 games in his 4th year. You believe Woody Johnson, known for his patience, right, especially of late, he's going to let Aaron Glenn go into that year with a rookie, and the mandate's going to be you're going to have to win that year. How are they set up to do that with a rookie quarterback?
I think the only way they were allowed to make the true trades that they made is that they were given an opportunity to be in charge in 27.
No. I think they were given the opportunity to sell the Woody on. We're going to get your quarterback solution this offseason. We're going to have the pick. This allows us to kill
2026 will be an opportunity for them to restock the organization, get some more players, build the rest of their roster.
Which, if this scenario plays out, where it's the second Colts pick, they're doing exactly that.
I'm not trading.
Nothing
it for
changes.
A guy who I think
you still have 2 second-round picks, all your other draft picks, and Alan, you still have the $100 million in cap space. Nothing changes other than you actually have a quarterback. Which, if you get your guy and he can start playing and developing, you're actually in position in year 3 to win with that guy as he takes the second-year leap.
But Jake, I think we differ because I don't think he's the guy.
I think you said you would take him if you didn't have to trade anything.
I do.
So, like, your logic to me doesn't make sense.
I do not.
Your logic should be I would understand I would disagree with it, but it's a reasonable take to me if you say, hey, I just don't think he's any good. I don't want to trade anything for him. I don't want to pick him at all. But you're saying you would take him if he fell at 5. So I'm saying, okay, you wouldn't trade a little to guarantee him at 1. To me, that doesn't jive. If you think he's going to be a good quarterback, you have to take your swing. Nobody knows.
Because I'm looking at the 2 guys they're adding in this deal, and I'm thinking 2 weapons. Whether it's a wide receiver or you can get yourself a center, you can get additional players. I think this quarterback is a good quarterback. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback.
But what's the plan at quarterback?
Again, I think 2026 is an opportunity for them to bring in a bridge and to draft somebody in the 3rd round.
They're going to suck next year.
They are going to. I think they're going to suck either way next year.
Yeah, but you rather suck with a guy getting development and an opportunity to grow.
You can find a development quarterback on day 3.
Yeah, but that guy's not likely to be your answer. You and I both know the vast majority, I think it's 24 of the 32 starters in the league are first-round guys. Like, for every Dak Prescott or Brock Purdy, most of the guys you get at the position are first-round QBs.
I don't believe in trading additional assets for this quarterback. I don't.
Frankie,
Can I say something?
Yeah, weigh in here, because Alan and I have had the same argument now for like 3 straight days.
Okay, Frankie.
All right. So in a perfect world, they're going after quarterbacks in 26 and in 27.
Yes.
In a perfect world. So if you're going to talk to me about quarterbacks, you got to take one until you get one right. It's unlikely for a team to do. It is. It's unlikely for a team, Jake, in a perfect world. I'm with Jake in, listen, Mendoza has an extremely high floor, very low ceiling. That's why we're in this discussion right now. Alan, you're not wrong with what you're saying, but where I differ from you here is I think give it a shot. If it's only worth that extra first in 26, Jake, it's more likely than not the team's going to ask for 1 in 27, by the way, to kind of differentiate their assets and drafting capital. But let's say they were to give us the extra 1 in 26 or take that. I'm down with saying give Mendoza a shot and then look at next year too. Why the hell not?
This is where I disagree. I disagree with you. I am not.
Well, Alan, let me ask you this though, really quick. Aren't you better off saying I'd rather have Fernando Mendoza than Dante Moore in 26 and whoever the 27th best player is on the board, or you don't even want a quarterback? Like, you're better, I think, in that first round in 26. You're better off getting out of there, I think, with Fernando Mendoza than you are the 2 BPA guys or Dante Moore and the next BPA guy. I think you're putting your franchise in better hands to get somewhere. And I don't even care much about 26 necessarily, but you're putting your franchise in better hands to move forward if you have the mentality that you're also willing to look at quarterback in 27. Does that make sense?
Ideally, I would take a day 2 or day 3 quarterback in 26.
I wanted to do that this year.
And so did I. But
yeah,
ideally, I would take a day 2, day 3 guy in 26. And then with the 3 1s in 27, then you can go get your quarterback. I keep hearing people that say, oh, if the first round pick does not work out this year, you take another first round pick next year. I'm not the Arizona Cardinals. I am not doing that. Again,
why not? Why are you again?
I would
curious,
not take a quarterback back-to-back years in the first round.
Why not? I'm
I
just
don't
curious,
believe in it because I don't believe regimes would be
and I'm not
allowed
trying to troll
do
you. I'm
that.
just asking, like, why?
Because I don't think that's smart business. To take quarterbacks back-to-back years in the first round, I don't think it's smart business whatsoever. If you take your quarterback in the first round, you take it once. You do not take it twice. Again, the Saints took Shuck in the second round, knowing that if he fails, they can take somebody in the top 5 this year. They didn't take Shuck in the first round. Once you take a quarterback in the first round, you do not get the opportunity to take another one the very next year in the first round.
But take yourself out of like the business. Take the business out of it. Ideally speaking, your goal is to put together a great football product, a great team. Aren't you are you putting yourself in a better opportunity to make that a reality if you do it both years rather than just one?
First of all, I don't think any regime should get the opportunity to draft quarterbacks back-to-back years in the first round.
Yeah, it's tough to sell. It's a tough sell to ownership.
Sell that to any fan base. Like, for example,
it's rough, but I don't think this team's has the luxury
last year,
to be cute about it, though.
Came on the show last year and said the Jets should trade up for Jackson Dart at the end of the first round. And if he failed and the Jets were a top 5 pick, they should draft another quarterback this year, which I thought was absolutely ludicrous. You do not draft quarterbacks back-to-back years in the first round and survive the second year. It makes no sense. If you're drafting,
but that logic, I don't even know I don't even remember that. Assuming Ryan
did say it on Jake's show, I remember.
That's not a bad. Is that a bad take? Looking back on it,
again, a regime would not be allowed to.
Alan, if this team doesn't, I agree with a bunch of what you say. A lot of times we're in the tanking club together, but I disagree with. Listen, you're not wrong. It is unrealistic to take a quarterback in back-to-back years in the first round. Yeah, I agree with you, and it's unlikely, but I think this team has to do something unlikely. Like, I think they have to fucking start a curse. They got to take freaking swings at that quarterback in the first round. They can't find one. Bring in 2. I mean, like, sometimes teams draft 2 quarterbacks in the same draft. You get RG3 and Kirk Cousins.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I'm like, just draft them. There was what was the other team, Alan or Jake, that did back-to-back first rounders, though?
It was the Arizona was the only team who did it.
There's another team.
I don't think in the first round. I think it was just Rosen and Murray. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
never do that.
That wasn't necessarily bad outside of Kyler Murray.
Rosen was
disinterested in playing football.
Murray was the number 1 pick in the draft. But again, I would not. First of all, I think the Jets are so far off in terms of talent. With all this draft capital, I want to build the rest of their roster, knowing that I have 3 ones in 2027 where you can maneuver up and down the board to get your quarterback. You have 4 top 50 picks in this draft. You can fill holes everywhere. Okay. As far as
you're going to fill some, Alan, but I'm saying some of those picks, we all know it. They don't always work out. And if they do work out and the quarterback is the most important position, if you hit on that right, I'm just saying, I know there's a premium there, but let's not make it seem like every pick you're going to have is going to work. It doesn't work like that. But whatever.
But the problem in the final thing, if you look at the 26th draft, which I've been looking at for a while, it's not a great top-heavy draft. I think it's more of a deep draft. I think you can get guys between 25 and 50 who can fill holes. I'd rather have more shots at 25 to 50 than get another top 10 pick, because I don't think there's really 5 or 6 guys that are blue chip guys in this draft. And again, I don't think Mendoza or Simpson are blue chip guys for them to sacrifice 1 or 2 guys between 25 and 50 to move up for. There's so many holes on this roster that I don't want to even take that chance to do so.
One question for you guys, right? I'm telling you from my perspective, there's one thing about Fernando Mendoza that makes me smile thinking about him here. I love Tanner Engstrand. I've told you guys this forever. I would love to see Fernando Mendoza in a quarterback room with Tanner Engstrand scheming up how to run an offense. I just think that would potentially be something that is average to above average at times in this league. And I don't think you want to lose that opportunity if it's there, if it's only the 26 picks. I'm with you, Alan, on those 27 threes, 3-1s. Do not touch those. You could touch the second rounder. Don't touch the first rounders there. But if you can move up and get Fernando Mendoza and have him in that room with Tanner Engstrand, and I love all these schemes, and he's a Jared Goff's guy, right? Like, it's why that Detroit thing worked, and people compare Mendoza to Goff, although I compare him more to Kirk Cousins, whatever.
I think he's Cousins.
He's more Cousins because his volume. He's not a big volume guy. He's
agree.
more of a glorified game manager that could break out into a very good quarterback, which is fine. I mean, like, Tom Brady started out as a game manager. Brock Purdy was a game manager. Like, it's okay. We don't need to swing for the fences. Like, get a guy who just hits singles sometimes. It's okay, which I think Mendoza's more of that kind of quarterback. But I'm fine with it, Alan. Like, I am personally.
You're trading 2 additional draft picks to get a guy who's a game manager. That's
a lot.
Problem. It's a lot. That's
if it's
why
only 26.
They like him though, Alan. What if they love him?
They like him. He's not a guy that I think changes the
but
franchise.
We don't know that.
And I think he will be. And I've watched 7 games of him this year. I think he will be exposed against speed defensive rushers against Ohio State. I think Reese will go attack him. I think Styles will go attack him. And I think their defensive coordinator.
But that doesn't mean he won't be a good quarterback in the league. Josh Allen had terrible stats at Wyoming.
Trade all this capital for. I don't. And if
you say all this capital, where we differ again, and we'll give you plenty of time, where we differ again is that I don't think it's unreasonable to think that the Jets trading the Colts pick and then trading a second in 27 is unreasonable to move up from 5 to 1 to get your quarterback. It's all a crapshoot anyway. You could tell me Trevor Lawrence and Caleb Williams are generational prospects. How have they done? Seriously.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing that I don't think that trade's not realistic to me, Jake, for one reason. I think a team that was Tennessee, right? That would trade that. I think Tennessee would want a 27 first versus the 26. And I think the Jets, if they were to trade up, I think they'd be more prone to give up that extra first in 27,
which is fine by me.
You have
give me pick 28. So it's right. Okay, and I'll trade back from 28 and recoup some of the assets I just gave up to move up for Mendoza anyway. There's ways to get the pick. What people don't understand is it's like, oh, we're giving up so much. One, you're not, and two, you then still have multiple picks to wheel and deal back, recoup the capital, so you're still coming up with ammunition that you traded away to get your quarterback anyway. Nobody cares what you give up if you get the quarterback right. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, this team, at the end of the day, two things here are definitely true, right? One, this team doesn't have a damn quarterback. We don't even have a backup quarterback. Tyrod's on his last legs. Justin Fields is done here. Brady Cook's a UDFA. We were talking about it on Gangzo here with Ryan, with Samson and Kaz. There's never been a UDFA to play in their rookie year, like start a game or multiple games, or there's some stat like that. Like, who's the last one? There has, but it's been a long time. They don't have a quarterback one, too. Who knows what the 27 class is? I hear everyone talking about this 27 quarterback class.
They said that about this year.
They have no idea. I remember 2 years ago, Quinn Ewers was going to be the number 1 overall pick. Like, you don't know what happens. Injuries happen. Mendoza looks like he has a head for it. He looks like he fits what a Tanner Engstrand offense could be. He's a big kid. Take a swing at it. But, Jake, it might cost more than people might feel comfortable with, assuming that even a deal's on the table. So, but I'm with you. I'm with you for the most part.
Hey, a PSA, my Twitter account's been hacked the last 2 days. The hacker is at it again. If you could go on my Twitter account for anyone watching this live or after the fact, and please,
I thought that was yours. I thought you just got that.
Please report this tweet for spam. It will help me get it back. We've reached out to Twitter. They can't get a hold of anyone. I filed like one of those like bullshit reports that they make you file, and then you get this generic response. Oh, we can't unlock it. So I don't know how long this is going to take, but I was told by people that the more people that report the tweet, the more Twitter's like algorithm will detect something wrong and maybe they'll reach out to me. So I put my.
Let me ask you a question. Did you do the change password thing? Like, how did you know it was hacked?
Because I got text. Oh, like, I think you got hacked, dude. Look at this tweet. And I'm like, oh no. And then I had to change all my passwords. So please, everyone, report this as spam. That's the best way to do it. There's 2 tweets that are on there, and it will help get my account back, because this is just such a pain in the ass. This was like the other tweet. It was like some like bullshit like crypto thing that they were talking about. So you hit the top right of the tweet. There's a button that says report post. Hit spam, and it will be super helpful for the 300 people in here. If even like 5 of you do it, it will go a long way. It's just at Jake Asman. So I appreciate that. God,
do it for you,
nightmare.
I'll do it right now. Actually.
Nightmare. All right.
Y'all get it back.
Bronx Jet fan in our raffle for one. We don't have a ton of entries, so if you want to win a jersey, this is your lucky day. Appreciate you, Bronx Jet fan. Taylor D'Onofrio is in the Asmaniac raffle for 2. Yeah, the middle of the defense, D-line corners aren't bad, but all OCs know if they confuse the linebackers and safeties, it's over. Outside of DC, that should be the main focus on D. That in depth, I completely agree with this. They need to really hit on some guys in the second and third day of the draft on defense for sure. What's nice about the Jet situation, you have 2 bookend tackles. You have a number 1 receiver. Let's assume for this, they're going to keep Brees. You feel like you have at least 1 legit tight end. You know, the offense has a lot of pieces on it, whereas the defense, you do have Jermaine and Will under contract, of course. You know, we'll see what we have with AZ and what we have with Stevens, but like, you know what you need to do: linebacker, safety, defensive tackle. They need another edge. Like, it's clear what they have to do. It's just a matter of, will they do it? This one is from the big fella. Imagine trying to sell a fan base on not drafting a quarterback this year after going through the season with Justin Fields. We're drafting a QB, Mendoza or Simpson. I agree. And they made these trades in my mind, not for 2027. It was, hey, Woody, let us do this, and we're going to get you your quarterback that you desire. I think that's what they sold Woody on when they made the Quinn and then sausages.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this team they didn't draft a quarterback in this last draft. They're going to draft a quarterback in this upcoming draft, and I hope they draft one early. I really do. Now, moving around in the draft is another conversation, but try. I like this offensive coordinator. That's another thing. You don't want to spend another year where Tanner Engstrand doesn't have a quarterback that can execute the kind of offense he wants. You might be able to bring in a kid that is better than Justin Fields, which isn't saying much from a passing perspective, that can light things up. Give yourself a shot. You have to take a bite at that apple. You just do. I'm always in that camp, Jake. You and I agreed, I remember in the offseason, not to bring up past convos on the show, but we said it. Draft someone late. Why the hell not? Because we be talking right now about starting that kid. You never know. Maybe they're a good backup. Maybe there's someone that's the bridge next year and you could develop the rookie behind. So I always think it's a good move. I get where people are coming from saying build the roster and then take the quarterback in 27, but don't wait. Don't wait to take a bite at the apple. Take a kid early. It doesn't have to be in the first round. Maybe they trade back, Jake, and they acquire assets so they can move up later on in the draft in the late second round or mid-second if they like someone. But Mendoza looks like someone they really like. And I do too.
Well said. Home stretch of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie, I'm going to have you handle part of this call because I got to make a call real quick about this Twitter situation. But I got a good one for you. Ladies and gentlemen, stop what you're doing and say hello to the great Kyle Clifton. Now, where is he calling from? Well, I mean, you guys decide right now.
What's up, Frankie? How are you?
Mr. Kyle, how we doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. So Allen's not wrong that it's bad business to take a quarterback in the first round 2 years in a row. I think that the Arizona situation was a little different because everyone knew that Josh Rosen wasn't the guy, and they were able to identify that pretty quickly and move off him. But usually if you pick a guy, you want to give him more than 1 year to develop, and if you're picking a guy the next year, you're not giving him that grace to develop. Right. So, the one thing I would disagree with Allen is if you have to take a quarterback this year, and he was saying second or third day. I think it has to be on day 2 if it's not going to be in the first round. They have multiple second-round picks, so they can kind of go back a little bit, gain extra picks into the third round. I think there are guys that are going to have some value that are having not quite the year that they expected this year. That are going to end up in rounds 2 and round 3 that you might be able to get. That said, it's entirely probable that they're going to take a quarterback there in the top 10, right?
It depends, though. They want to. What I've heard is they want to take a quarterback. Obviously, they like Mendoza. They've been going to all his games, but what if he's not there? He's probably going to be a top 3 pick, and Allen just doesn't like Mendoza enough to do it. I think I do.
Well, I know they were there at the Penn State game. Have they been to other games of his?
Yeah, they have. Yep, the week before, and they're going to be at. I don't think Indiana's playing this week, but the week after. Yeah, they're stacking the deck, Kyle, with all their scouts.
Well, I mean, I don't think that necessarily eliminates Simpson from contention, right?
It doesn't. No.
It's a little bit easier to get to go see Mendoza when he's at Penn State, like. It's a 53-minute flight from Teterboro. But the quarterback is not really. We're going to be. I have confidence in the next 2 years we're going to be able to get the guy. But right now we don't even know where we're going to be. A lot is going to depend on that New Orleans game, right? Because then we might be. If we're on pace with the Browns, we might fall behind them. If we're at the same level. We have the tiebreaker over them, right? So we're actually picking later. So we actually kind of have to lose that New Orleans game. It's kind of how you have to look at it from a tanker's perspective, right?
Yeah, and you have to also with New Orleans, you have to if you're in the tanker club, you have to hope that Tyler Shuck is you're rooting for Tyler Shuck. Because even if they do have a top pick. They might not be looking at quarterback now. That also we have to understand this. That also becomes a trades eligible spot. So if Shuck does play well and they're not in the market to draft a kid because they want to try out Shuck for another year, they may be willing to move that pick. I'm sure they would. So
he'd have to play lights out though, because down the stretch here, like for them to say, okay, we have an opportunity to take a guy.
Yeah,
we took this other guy in the second. I don't see a scenario where that really happens. If they see someone they like and they think they can get him, I don't think they're going to move off him. Young Jacob, what does a young content creator do at a wedding? What is he drinking? Does he drink wine?
Hold on, I'm getting so annoyed with StreamYard just like moving people around without me pressing anything. Don't get me started on that. I'm not a wine guy really. I probably will do either whiskey or vodka. I gotta commit to one. So I gotta. It depends how I'm feeling tomorrow.
That it might make sense to slip the bartender $40 and say, bullet old fashions, keep them coming, because I need to lubricate for the dance floor.
You're not wrong. What crazy Jet story is going to break? If there was ever a time for something ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm hoping that there will be plenty of eligible, lovely ladies there for you to introduce yourself with. And at this age, I get to live vicariously through you. But
yeah, I'll try not to let you down, Kyle.
I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, I get what Alan is saying. I don't want to force the quarterback either. But there is so much left to see with where we're going to be picking. There's a lot of football to play out with Mendoza and with Simpson. We have the capital if we choose to do it. They just have to get it right. If they don't get if they pick a quarterback in the first round this year and they don't get it right, I think that puts year 3 for them in jeopardy, or at least if he doesn't show enough. In year 2 but I think that if they don't pick, I agree with Alan. I think that Glenn has enough of Woody's year that he will get year 3 no matter what. I appreciate your time, guys.
How ugly does it get? That's the thing, though. Next year, like we say that, but like Kyle, it was so ugly this year that I was taking bets with listeners if they're going to go 0-17 or not. Like people thought they actually were going to go winless. So I don't know.
Believe me, Jake, I don't really have that much confidence in Glenn. That's why the ability for him to make those trades that was granted by ownership was a little perplexing to me. But I understand the desire to kind of blow it up, right? Because Quinnen's not on the timeline. Sauce's contract was portable; it was new and it hadn't kicked in yet. So they got offers they couldn't refuse, right? So
yep.
let's see what we can parlay that into. I have much more faith in Muji than I do in Glenn. It's just a matter of identifying the guy, but I do share Alan's concern that I don't feel like these guys have kind of shined quite enough yet. So I appreciate the time, guys.
Kyle, great call. Non-Jet news, but people will care about this. Jackson Dart has not passed concussion protocol, so he is out for Sunday's game.
Ooh. He's an interesting quarterback to kind of rate out or to kind of project out with. I think Giant fans, and this is my opinion about him, I think Giant fans are sold on him being the franchise quarterback. I don't think he's proven it yet, especially his play style. He's too erratic. That's a big coaching decision too. They're gonna have to make there. They're gonna have to bring in the right head coach there. It's gonna be interesting.
They should do what the Jets didn't do: hire Mike McCarthy, get a real proven head coach to stabilize things.
Yeah, we'll see. People are saying Robert Saleh maybe coming back to
the Giants.
He wants to run those stairs, Jake. He loves those stairs,
Robert Saleh. Hey, maybe he brings Mike McDaniel with him as the OC.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, home stretch here. Let's do the Rooster. We got the raffle coming up. Hello, Rooster.
What do we say, boys? How you doing?
What's up, Rooster?
Listen, weddings are great. I met my wife at a wedding. I was a groomsman, and she was a bridesmaid, and I was chicken dancing all over that dancing floor. I was moving, but I actually took home another girl that night. I'll never forget it. It's a great story.
Wow, that's a great story.
I said to one of my buddies, God, I love this girl. She's pretty. Yeah, she's great. And the other girl, it was kind of, it was all over me too. And he goes, Rooster, let me tell you one thing. You got the orange bowl and you got the cherry bowl. Take the automatic bid. Get the cherry bowl and do what you got it. And whatever, cherry bowl, met my wife. Okay. I'm going to talk about this one more time. I know I've been pestering you a little, Jake, with Detroit and not trading up. Here is the team I think, which we are very close to. The Philadelphia Eagles. And let me tell you why. I'm going to ask you guys a question. They've made a ton of draft picks since 2020. What is the highest pick they've taken in 2020? Do you guys know offhand?
The
highest pick they've had?
Smith, right?
Yeah.
So Devontae Smith, was
that
he
was
like
close 10? There was one more.
Jalen Carter at 9, right?
Jalen Carter at 9. Okay.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Eagles in 2020 took a man in the second round, Jalen Hurts, okay? Went to a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl. At that time in 2020, they had the offensive line. We kind of have an offensive line. And what Roseman then decided to do was make pick after pick after pick. Now, we need a quarterback in the worst way. But what we know over the last 30, 40 years is the one quarterback to the last pick in the draft, right? It's a crapshoot. No matter how much I might love Mendoza, no matter, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You do not go up and trade for a quarterback. You just don't. And I know we need one. So if at 6 and Mendoza or Simpson are there, and he's what we feel is a top 10 player, take him. If not, don't. But in round 2, then if you feel there's a quarterback there, we need bodies. What Muji has done has given us the opportunity to get football players. Look at Philly, the draft. Now, got to hope Muji gets it right. But why am I giving Tennessee or the Giants anything? We know.
Who's the quarterback, though? You got to answer that question.
I don't know, and you don't know, and no one knows. That's the glory of it. If there's a guy that we like that is a graded quarterback at that spot, take him. And that means Simpson, we say he's worth a 6th pick, or if not, don't take him. If you get the 6 and you don't think Simpson is a top, we know quarterbacks of value, don't take him. But take one in round 2. What I'm saying is, when we try to be the smartest player in the room, we end up being the dumbest player. We decided at the time.
Yeah, but being the smartest player in the room would be not taking a quarterback and just being like, we'll find someone on day 2.
I'm saying we need to build a football team like what Philly's done.
Right. But what did Philly do before Jalen Hurts? Right? They had Carson Wentz. Where was he picked? Oh, they traded up for him.
They won the Super Bowl without Wentz. I mean,
but Wentz played well enough that year and was going to win the MVP that they were in position to be the 1 seed and have home games for Nick. Nick Foles was great, but let's not gloss over the fact the Eagles' original plan was they believed in one of these quarterbacks and they moved up and got him and then continued to build their team around.
Was Roseman Wentz?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I say one quick thing? I think if you look at Josh Allen, for example, right? The Bills, I just looked this up because the Bills traded up to get Josh Allen. They went from 12 to 7.
The Chiefs traded up for Mahomes.
Chiefs had a playoff team. They're a little different. We're so bad.
I'm saying those 2 teams identified their guys and traded up. If Mendoza, if you're there, Rooster, if you're there at 6 or 5, and you want Mendoza, he's your guy, and he's not going to be there at 6 or 7, you better give up a pick or 2 to move up to get him if he is your guy. Now, you got to have faith in the GM. We don't know if Muji is Howie Roseman. That's the thing. Howie Roseman had to get. No, I'm just saying we don't know what Muji is. So have faith in the guy, but who knows? I do. I like his moves, but
you know what the funny thing is with the Jets? That the most important 2 people, and we all agree, are Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn. Because if they aren't right, and believe me, I'm with you, Jake. I'm not sure about Aaron Glenn, but he's here. If they're not right, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. We'll ruin them. We just will. We just will. So, but you know what? I feel, and for the first time with Aaron Glenn, and I know it's crazy, I just a little bit better the last few weeks. Forget his antics with the media. I just feel that the football team versus New England, I think we're going to play okay this weekend, guys. I do. I don't think we're going to win. I think we're going to play. The whole thing with Fields, he's just been so bad throwing the ball. And I know that was Glenn's guy, and we got it. But there was really what were the other options besides Fields? We weren't bringing Rodgers back for 100 different reasons. I just think you got to just take great players in the NFL. And if you look at Philly, they've taken 10. I've always believed between 5 and 75, but you got to get it right. And let's pray he gets it right, because if he does,
Rooster, Nick Shine wrote into you, no QB is the Cherry Bowl. Getting a franchise QB is the Orange Bowl. Don't be afraid to be great. Also, congrats on the sex.
That was 30 years ago. It was a great night, I'll tell you. It was what we call, it was a home run both ways. But I woke up that morning, I flew out to Vegas, and I actually did not feel good about myself. I went home and I called the groom up who was on his honeymoon. I'm like, you got to give me the bride's number. They got to give me this girl's number. He's like, anyway, here nor there. We're right there. Because if they miss on Mendoza, if you miss on Mendoza and you take him at 6 in your slot, big deal. If you miss on Mendoza and you trade up and then we force him in there quickly, we're just recycling everything over.
Or he's ready. He's good. Like that. I mean,
if he's I'm just saying, let Cleveland, let someone else give away their draft at Tennessee and the Giants.
It's not that
I'm not giving the Giants and Tennessee anything.
It's 1 first-round pick and a second next year. You still have, in this scenario, 2 seconds this year, 3 first-rounders in 27.
I know, but
I can't see what you're showing me because there's a light that's blinding me.
What I'm showing you is that there's 75 picks taken, and the more you take in the top 75, the better chance you have of hitting on them.
Agreed. But you can hit on picks as the Jets did with the 2022 class, and it doesn't lead to anything if you don't have a quarterback.
Well, because they didn't have the other part of it. They didn't have the coach.
They also didn't have the quarterback, though.
I understand that. And I want the quarterback worse than you, but I don't want to force it.
Right, but you're not forcing it if you have conviction in the guy being good. No one's saying
Is
you
it
blindly
conviction,
trade up.
or is it conviction?
It's
Or is
conviction.
it that
They're
we
not
need a quarterback?
It's both. They need a quarterback, and I think they're going to like one of these guys.
See, where I agree with Allen and these guys, there's no doubt in my mind with this plan that Aaron Glenn has 3 years. None.
Plans change. Woody Johnson also told Eric Mangini he was not going to get fired no matter what happens after they made the Favre trade, because Mangini was worried about the expectations changing. And guess what? Woody changed his mind after they were 8-3. Favre got hurt, and they finished 9-7. I don't care what you think the plan is. I know Woody Johnson, and I know he's impatient. I know he's also about to be 80-something years old. I think he wants to win. I think they told him, Frankie, we'll let you make these deals if you get the quarterback this offseason for us. And I think that's going to be their plan, not wait till 27 when there's no guarantee. Glenn, if he goes, 5-12 in 2026, is going to get 2027 with his quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. I think you don't make those trades. You don't trade fan favorites away like Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner if you're going to sell the team. Oh, we're going to wait another year without getting a quarterback. And sometimes you roll the dice a little bit. You put yourself in a position, you hope that one of these quarterbacks is going to shine, or a couple of them will shine. That'll give you, with your picks, will give you a higher probability of being able to move up and finally getting the quarterback. So they're just literally putting their chips, or they're putting all their eggs in this quarterback basket this year and maybe potentially next year. But we can't all assume that it's just a 2027 quarterback race for us. It's not. I think it's 26, and it should also be 27, honestly.
I have no issue doubling up on quarterback. Whether they can do it this year, too.
I don't either.
First round and day 3.
We have 5 first-round picks in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
No other team has 4. 3 teams have 3. We're clearly in the best position, and we're going to have a top 7-6 pick. We're in the best spot out of any team in football to make moves to trade up, probably in both years, to get a quarterback. Why the hell not? I don't care about wide receiver 2. I don't care about tight end 2. I don't care about a guard right now. I don't care about a safety. I care about a quarterback. And that's all this freaking team should worry about. And if you have Tanner Engstrand there, you're going to maybe get some really good production. I'm telling everyone, that's got to be the move. Try it 1 year and then try it again, and fuck the other picks. Who cares? The quarterback's where those picks become valuable. I'm serious. Look at the best teams in the NFL right now. They're all quarterback run. It is what it is. It's a quarterback league.
Well said. This Twitter thing is so annoying. I got people texting me being like, "Did you get hacked?" No, man. I'm just randomly tweeting about some fucking fake car, that I definitely didn't buy using crypto. Brutal. Brett in the raffle for 1. Everyone, please report this tweet as spam. Hopefully, I get my Twitter account back before I die. Brett, you're in. Thank you. Kyle Clifton in for 5 with this one. Thank you, Kyle. Even though Keyshawn ultimately was traded, it'd be hard to pass on a vintage jersey in Eagle Green. Maybe the heart will win out, and I'll go with Nick when I win. LFG. Let's go, Kyle. This is your last chance to enter our raffle. We only have 9 gifted memberships this show. I'm going to gift one right now. Get us up to 10. Nice even number there. So, again, thanks to everyone who's watching. If you're tuned into a show about a 2-8 football team, you are a diehard, and we are certainly all grateful for that one. I have gifted a channel membership. If you hear your name called, it came from yours truly, Ashu 11K. We will put you in the raffle, Ashu. Congrats. It's actually Asenku. I thought there was an H in there. Asenku 11K in for 1. The Rooster, who just had a great call with us, he gifted a membership, as did Sam Massaro, who gifted a membership. And I can't believe my eyes. Black Gypsy. Everyone's just gifting one at a time right now. Can't keep up. Black Gypsy gifted 1. Cynthia W. Shout out to you, Cynthia. She is in the raffle for 1 as well. Let me rapid fire and acknowledge everyone. Gypsy, Rooster, Sam, Cynthia. Hit the Jet chant for them. Let's go.
I got just the guy to get us going tonight. Let me hear you.
Yeah. Love that. Shout out to Fireman Ed coming to our draft
How's he
party last
doing?
year. He was
Is
supposed to be on
on?
today, but he had something come up. So that's why I texted you last night and you were available. And I was like, let's go.
I'm the
Let's
bullpen
go.
guy. I'm the bullpen guy. There we go.
You're the man. Frankie, I appreciate you hopping on, dude. Hopefully,
Dude, it's my
Sunday's
pleasure.
not brutal.
Gang's all here. Show's starting at noon, by the way. So hit up the New York Post. I talk about my little scooter incident I talked about on your show too. But we give our
scooter
predictions.
incident? You mean the crash?
Unbelievable. How accurate that actually is kind of scary. But hey, appreciate you, Jake. You're the GOAT. Appreciate everyone out there. I'll catch up with y'all soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tanky V, Frankie V from uSTADIUM. Gang's all here, pod with the New York Post. Great job by Frankie. Excellent insight. I'm going to finish counting the raffle names. And while that is happening, why don't we check in right now with today's closer? He's a good friend of the show, ladies and gentlemen. The host of the Nick Shine Show. Nick Shine is called in. Hello, Nick.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
What's up, Nick?
I got the last good morning in at 11:58.
You got it just at the buzzer.
That's it. So here's something that aggravates me with Alan. And he hears one little snippet and he makes it into a mountain. If the Jets fail with the quarterback, there's no guarantee the regime will be here. He keeps saying the same regime get to pick another quarterback. The same regime will get to pick another quarterback. It's not how it's going to happen. If you fail with the quarterback, just like Arizona, Kingsbury comes in, picks his guy, the same thing will happen. Now, no one's saying that we want that to happen, but you have the assets where it is a fallback plan. It is not a primary plan. So we need to just get away from this being the fucking topic of every single call-in on every single show. Also, with respect to Kyle Clifton, there is no tiebreaker between Cleveland and the Jets. Head-to-head is not a tiebreaker.
It's strength of schedule.
Strength of schedule. Also, I challenge anybody. I have not been able to find any team with a strength of schedule weaker than the New England Patriots this year. Right now, they're at 370. If you can find anyone in the history of the NFL that's had a weaker schedule than that, please, I'm all ears. I can't do it. I'm a draft nut, so I look at the draft every year. I've never seen a team that low. They were 356 before the game, Sunday's games, and then they went up to 370. It's wild how easy their schedule is.
Yeah, and this week, I mean, Burrow might be back, but Jamar Chase is suspended for the spitting incident, so he's not even going to be out there against them.
Yeah, they have nobody. And Buffalo, can we just rejoice in how bad they look? That was fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't even mention it yet because we got distracted with everything going on today. That was awesome. That Texans defense is nasty, man. Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter completely wrecked that game last night.
Deion Dawkins, that fat tub of lard, doing a false start to make it a 4th and 1 back to a 4th and 6 and changing everything. Just he deserves to be embarrassed. Screw him.
I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed that.
Yeah. Yeah, I caught the end of it, and that pass rush, and shout out to the former Jet. It seems like every team having a guy be successful is a former Jet, but Rankins had a good night. He made some nice plays.
Yeah, he did. And then how about the 4th and 27 play call that the Bills ran? That was the old Mike LaFleur play.
Nice. Yeah, that helped me. That put Shakir over 100. I got a nice bump for that in the one fantasy team I've kept. I've kept the dynasty team that I can't give up because it's too loaded, and I'm doing very well. So that was a nice little play by the flex. What's the raffle today, sir?
The raffle today is a Jets Legends jersey. You pick the player if you win.
All right.
You gonna enter?
Yeah, let's get in that.
You trying to be a part of the raffle of greatness?
Yeah, let's get in it.
Nick Shine, everyone. He has gifted a membership to the community. Who got it? Tim Odenthal. That's Tim in Florida, who always calls into the show.
Let's do 2.
Nick Shine in for 2. Ladies and gentlemen, hit it. We got some super chats too. Nick Shine, I see you. You're in for 2. Thank you. Let me get to this one from the Rooster here. He goes, are we just sure that Sellers, as an example, from South Carolina at 28 is not better value than trading up from Mendoza at 1? That's all I'm saying. It's a crapshoot at quarterback. I agree, but you got to have a coaching staff that believes in the guy they're picking. You know, everyone's got to be aligned with that decision. If they have the same grade, then Sure, but it's a crapshoot because so much of the development is contingent on having the right coaching staff. And if you're the Jets, you want to give Tanner Engstrand a quarterback that he can work with that fits how he's going to coach him up. And I don't even know, by the way, if Sellers is coming out. He might stay in school and transfer, go somewhere else.
Yeah, he's very erratic. He can make some great draw-dropping plays, and then the next play, he's like a Mark Sanchez. He'll make the great throw, and you're like, wow, that's what everyone sees in him. That's why he's a good prospect. And then the next throw, it's like, what are you doing, dude? He's got to get more consistent. He's got to get with a better coach. The portal will probably be great for him to get with a good coach once another position opens.
He's definitely a guy that I think could stay in school and like really play himself into like a first-round pick next year for sure.
Yeah. And here's the thing, like, we have the assets. It doesn't matter. Like, we don't have to be afraid to give up picks. If the Jets are all united and saying this is our guy, they're not going to take no for an answer. They have the assets to maneuver however they feel. They could not be in love, which is also an option. Just because I like Mendoza and others like Mendoza doesn't mean the Jets are going to end up trading up for him. They might lose out. The option might be, let's trade back. Let's get more picks in the middle rounds here. Let's not have 5 first-round contracts on the books come 3-4 years from now, where we got to pick up the fifth-year options. Those might be options. We don't know what the plan as the organization is. There's many different routes that they can take. They can move up in the draft and they can target a guy. They can move up to target positional players that they feel fit, like a Sonny Styles, or if Tyson or Tate, wide receiver, fall, they can jump up for them. We don't know what the plan is going to be, but the beauty of it is that I like what Muji did in last year's draft. And I think that he can target players who can come in and be effective immediately. I think him and Glenn are in sync. Doesn't have to so much be Glenn and what's been going on the field being perfect, but I think Muji and Glenn are in sync with the type of players that they want and the type of players that they're searching for, because you see some guys later in the draft being impactful. Now, if you don't have the quarterback, you don't have it. I get it, but I don't want you burning picks if you're not completely in love with the guy. You're not going to trade up rolling the dice. You're going to trade up if this is our guy, this is our team, we bleed green. There you go.
Wow, what a great Colts reference.
Thank you.
Where's Gorman at, by the way?
He's hacking your Twitter.
He's behind the
him and Isabel teamed up.
Unreal. Mike D's Nuts checks in, says, F it, put me in. D's Nuts, you are in. Ted, he says we're going to take a QB late in the first round, such as Nico, if he declares. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I think the Jets, if I had to guess, are going to be taking a quarterback early in the first round, not late. That's my early feel, subject to change based on who's available. This one is from Peter W. He's in for 5. He says, normally I would have given up on the season by now. I'm a 50-year fan, but I've never been more interested. I believe in AG and Darren Muji. I'm telling you, it's different now. Sitting good with picks. We get a QB, receiver, DBs. We are winning. I like Simpson, though. I don't know how you could believe in AG. I feel better about Muji because I think he's handled these trades in season and extracted max value for the big trades they made with the outgoing players, Sauce and Quinnen. But I just hope Glenn improves because I don't think he's going anywhere. So yeah. I'm with you.
The biggest thing on defense going forward is AZ Thomas a starting caliber corner. That's huge because if AZ Thomas can prove he belongs and you don't have to address the cornerback position and you can go forward with Stevens, Thomas, Brownlee as your top 3, that eliminates a position you have to address in the draft. And you can focus on the 8 positions I've targeted pre-free agency over the next 2 drafts are safety, a linebacker, defensive tackle, an edge, and then a center or guard, whichever you deem, wide receiver, the quarterback, and then a backup tight end to replace Rucker. And then you might have to add running back. I'm under the belief now that since they didn't move Hall, Jake, they're going to franchise him. They're going to work out a contract. They're going to keep Hall here. Everything Glenn has said has been about keeping Breece Hall. Now that you have a quarterback who can get the ball downfield, I think we're going to see a different Breece Hall this week. And I know you love the FanDuel. And I think Breece over this week is going to crush. I really do. I think when we're throwing the ball downfield, you'll have less guys in the box, and I think he'll have an opportunity to break some runs. And if you have 7 guys in the box with our offensive line and the way our tight ends have been blocking as well, we have the advantage.
I hope you're right. We'll do over-unders for Jets Ravens with Nick Faria this afternoon. So we'll go through some of the breeze props for those
Bringing
interested.
in the B-Nick. The B-Nick. The A-Nick is here right now. You're bringing in B-Nick.
Kyle Clifton at the buzzer. Let's see how Arian, Mechie, all look with a guy who's unafraid to let it rip. Yeah, Mitchell too. All these young receivers, big part of it. Also, Pepper Mason Taylor with some targets. That's what I would absolutely love to see down the stretch. Hey, shout out to Jet Set Go. He's in the raffle for one. Jet Set Go was the listener who won the autographed Vinny Testaverde jersey on the show. I think it was last week, or it might have been right before the end of last week. Either way, I'm glad it arrived safely, Mr. Jet Set Go. He says, I, of course, want a QB over all else, but sometimes I see Garrett Wilson more in a Devontae Smith role more than a 1A receiver. Still would like a big body receiver if Mechie and Mitch don't produce. Well, I mean, I think Garrett's a 1, right? He's had over 1,000 yards, 3 straight years. He's dynamic. He was having a great year before these injuries. I think the key is to still add more playmakers. You can never have enough of them. Don't make the Sam Darnold mistake. Have too many, not too few, when you're talking about giving a rookie quarterback a chance to succeed. So I'm with you. But I still love Garrett. He's here. He's signed. He's a captain, great leader. He's made of the right stuff.
Yeah. You know, I'm a big believer of always get guys who complement one another. They don't do the same thing. Keyshawn, Crabette, neither one of them could do the same thing, right? But they both blocked really well. Marshall, Decker, Toon, Walker. Like, you need guys who do different things to exploit the defense. If you have guys who are just carbon copies of one another, it's easy to eliminate that with a game plan if you're built to do so. But when you have guys and you have a coordinator who can scheme these guys for their strengths and their assets, that's another huge part of it too. Like, I'm big on Angstran. I agree with Frank. I'm very big on Angstran. And I see guys that are open on film time and time again, and I just don't see the quarterback getting the ball there. So I don't think we're that far off, if that makes sense. I think we're just mediocre passing attack away from being a very competitive team.
Nick, appreciate you hopping on. You going live today?
I am right after you, 12:30, sir.
Beautiful.
Nick Shine Show.
Everyone tune in for more Jet Talk with our guy, Nick Shine. But right now, it's time for the raffle, folks. Appreciate everyone who has contributed. We had a late run here with a bunch of people joining late. So now, let's get to it, folks. Time for the Asmaniac raffle. Hold on. StreamYard is still glitching. Let me get things under control. We're ready for it. Let's do it.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
You wrote that I missed one. Did you get the second one, Black Gypsy? I'm looking. Oh, you're right. Glad you said something, Mr. Gypsy. I'm going to give you your additional entry in. Good luck. Hey, good luck to everyone who entered. We didn't have a ton, and then I said last chance, and a bunch of you entered. So I hope someone good wins. If you win, you have to email me, asmanjake@gmail.com. I need to know your name. I need to know your address, the player you want the jersey in, the size you want it in, so I can get it ordered for you this weekend. Again, good luck to everyone. Thank you guys for your support. The raffles, the super chats, it's a huge part of the yearly revenue because views are down for every Jet content creator when the team's 2-8. So all of it helps, and we're all grateful for that. But again, only one could win today. We're about to find out who's going to win. Spin the wheel, baby. Wait, hold on. Nope. I just realized I forgot someone. Brett, I don't see your name in there. So I am not doing it. Sad Jet fan says you missed my Did I miss a $20 super chat entry here? Hold on. I don't know if I have all the names here. We will respin. I don't want to screw anyone over. Brett, I'm glad you said something. You were right. You were not added here. It was not copy and pasted by ChatGPT. I'm putting you in, Brett. Hold on. We'll do things fair here. And then there was another one. Sad Jets fan. Let's see. Did you have a super chat, Sad Jets fan? I don't see you. I don't see you on here. I see Peter W. I don't see it. Sad Jets fan, I don't see you. So I don't think I missed your $20 super chat. I don't know if you had a $20 super chat. If you did, and I find it after the show, I will go through it. I'll put you in the afternoon show, daily raffle, and of course, the weekly. Nick says, looks like my YouTube got hacked too. God, I hope not. Yesterday was so annoying. All right, Brett, I'm going to put you in, and then we will respin this here. Apologies, everyone. We want to make sure we do things fair on this program. Here we go. Let me pull the wheel champions back up, and let's spin this thing for real this time. Again, good luck to everyone. Apologies for the delay there, but here we go. One spin to determine the winner. Your winner is... Wow, look who won. Nick Shine won. How about that? He calls in, he gives 2 memberships, and he wins. It's good to be king. Hit it. Congratulations to Nick Shine, host of the Nick Shine Show. That's how it's done, folks. That is how it's done. Nick gifted 2. He's a winner. Well done by Nick Shine. Well done by everyone. Thank you to Frankie V. Great job on the program. Great back and forth with Rob, JJ, Alan, Kyle Clifton brought it today, the Rooster. This was a fun show. I am going to wrap up things right now because I'm having a crisis in my life with the Twitter account that I got to now deal with some more. So I leave you all with the intro that is changing the world. Go Jets, everybody.
Gator, I don't understand why I don't have an intro. Gator, I need an intro, buddy. A cool intro, please. I've been calling in, supporting Jake for over 4 years. You got Adam is too cool, Papa 73, and I don't understand why you won't create one. Women.
You have no sense of humor. That's the problem.
I don't.
When you have a sense of humor, then you can have an intro.
I'm worthy of an intro. All right, fine. I don't understand why I don't have an intro.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go Jets!